Next, talking about basics of electrical engineering, BEE. People from the electrical background, for them, I guess this is very, very clear. But the people who are not from electrical, non-electrical people, for them, please concentrate here much, because if you are clear with the starting 3 chapters, then I can say that next chapters will be very, very clear for you, because the starting 3 chapters are totally basics. So first thing, nothing but father of electricity. Okay, many of the engineers doesn't know this. Who is the father of electricity? If you're going to go for an interview, first thing, especially for the beginners or fresher, they may ask you the father of electricity, William Gilbert and Michael Faraday. In some literatures, they have specified William Gilbert. In some literatures, they have specified Michael Faraday. So these are the two people who have done the research and development of electricity. So they are called as the father of electricity. Next, talking about electron theory. Electron theory. I hope everyone know what is meant by electron. Okay, electron means what? Negative charge particle is called as electron. Negative charge particle is called electron. So now we are talking about a theory. Okay, we are talking about a theory over here. That means a research has been done on electron. So what is that research and who has done that research? So electron theory was discovered in early 19th century. The year, as per my knowledge and belief, is 1919, but you can say as 19th century, by two people, Lawrence and Roth. These are the two people who have done the research on electron theory. So what does this theory mean? What actually this theory has given us? Like you can see here that this is a copper wire. The rectangular thing, what you can see is actually a copper wire. So when you are going to keep this copper wire under electronic microscope, so you can able to see the electrons. Here you can see when you are going to keep this copper wire under electronic microscope, you can able to see some electrons. Okay, you can able to see some millions of electrons, and these millions of electrons will be moving in non-uniform direction. Some electrons will go up, some electrons will go down with some non-uniform direction. But to the same copper wire, when you are going to provide some potential difference, nothing but voltage, you can see the plus and the minus sign. You're going to provide the potential difference. So what is happening when you're going to see these electrons are moving in one direction with the speed of light? These electrons are moving in one direction with the speed of light. So that is the research in the electron theory has been done. So it states that when potential difference, what is potential difference? Nothing but voltage. The voltage can also be called as potential difference, is applied to a conductor. The conductor can be aluminum, can be copper, or any metallic part. The electrons which are present in conductor will possess some kinetic energy, means rate of doing work. What is kinetic energy? The rate of doing. And this kinetic energy will start moving in definite direction, means only in one direction with the speed of light. With the speed of light, creating electrical pressure, which is called as current. So this is the research which has been done in the electron theory. I hope it's very, very clear for everyone. Next, talking about voltage. What is meant by voltage? The voltage can also be called as electromotive force, something but EMF, electromotive force. In technical term, we are calling it as electromotive force only. This is actually a quantity or expression that the potential difference or power distribution in charge between two endpoints. So from one point to other point, how much amount of the pressure or the potential difference we are having. So whenever the voltage value is more, the greater the voltage, the greater the flow of electrical current, means flow of electrons will be more. And this flow of electrons will be more in a conductor or in a semiconductor, based upon the resistance value. Based upon the resistance value, the flow of electrons will be there. The resistance value is high, the flow of electrons will be less. If the resistance value is less, the flow of electrons will be more. Please make a note of this. Again, talking about voltage, in the symbolic form, we are going to write as V, or we can also call it as volts also. Both means the same. Again, this voltage we can able to measure by means of voltmeter, multimeter, potential transformer, or the voltage transformer. This is a different things we have to measure. Okay, we have to measure the voltage. Okay, we have multimeter, voltmeter. Okay, this is the two things which we use. But when you are talking about high tension side, we need the potential transformer or a voltage transformer. Next, talking about current. So just now we have discussed about electron theory. So we are getting some amount of pressure in the electrons now. That is nothing but current. So electrical current is a flow of electrical charges. Which charges? Nothing but negative charges. So in electrical circuit, This charge is often carried by moving electrons in a wire, means flow of electrons. So in simple words, we can say that rate of flow of electrons, how many electrons are flowing. So that is nothing but current for us. So in symbolic form, we are going to write as A, or we can also pronounce as ampere, AMPS. And this current we can able to measure by means of ammeter, clamp meter, multimeter, or current transformer. These are the devices which we are going to use to measure the amount of current. If you are going to measure the amount of current nearby the transformer, in that case, we need a current transformer. Again, talking about a conductor. What is meant by a conductor? Conductor means it is actually a material which will allow the free flow of electrical current in one or more or multiple directions. The best example is nothing but copper or aluminum, because for the complete house wiring, we go with copper or we go with aluminum. Aluminum is used at transmission side, whereas copper is used for the complete house wiring. Again, we have silver also, galvanized iron, gold, platinum, but we are not going to use for the house wiring. GI, nothing but galvanized iron, we can use for the earthing, for the lightning arresters, but not recommended because the efficiency is very less when compared to copper and aluminum. So in short, I can say that all the metals are nothing but a conductor. So out of all the metals, which metal is giving you 100% efficiency? Platinum. But we cannot go with the platinum for the house wiring. It's very expensive, more than gold. So we are going with copper, or for the transmission side, we go with aluminum. Next, talking about insulator. Okay, so what is meant by insulator? Totally opposite of conductor. Okay, totally, because the conductor will allow the free flow of electron. This will not allow the free flow of electron. It is totally opposite of conductor. Example, nothing but your paper, rubber, plastic, Teflon, PVC, glass, and wood. These are the things, by which, we cannot able to pass electricity. Even a milliampere of current also we cannot pass with all these different materials. Milliampere of current also. Next, we have one more thing called as semiconductor. We have one more thing called as semiconductor. So what is meant by semiconductor? Nothing but a combination of insulator and conductor. This is actually a man-made device. So this man-made device works as insulator also, works as conductor also. This is a very important and a very demanding thing in the electronic area. So semiconductor is a substance. This is actually a substance, usually a solid chemical element. We have the silicon and germanium. These are the two materials which we are going to use to make a semiconductor, which will conduct electricity under some conditions. So based upon the conditions, we are going to provide the pulses. So whenever we are going to provide a pulse, what is happening? It is acting as a conductor. Whenever we are removing the pulse, it is acting as an insulator. So in short, I can say it is actually a very good medium for the control of electrical current. You can able to control even milliampere of current also. These semiconductor devices. So in short, whenever current is given, it acts as conductor. Whenever current is not given, it acts as insulator. I hope it's very, very clear regarding the semiconductor. The best example is in all your electronic switches. Like we have thyristors, we have transistors, we have SCR, silicon control rectifiers. We have hundreds of electronic switches. So all those are nothing but your semiconductor devices. So I hope till here it's very, very clear for everyone. Any doubts? Now you can please clarify. Everyone, please go through.
So, please explain semiconductor.
Semiconductor is actually a type of object or a medium, I can say, which will work as a conductor also, which will work as insulator also. Like combination of this conductor, combination of this insulator. Like you can see, conductor will allow the free flow of electrical current, whereas insulator will not allow the free flow of current, the free flow of electrons. But this is actually a device which works as free flow of electrical current also, which works as free flow of, not allow the free flow of electrons also. Combination of these two things is nothing but semiconductor. We have IGBTs, we have MOSFETs, we have GTOs. All these are nothing but your semiconductor devices. The name of switches. The name of switches.
Flow of electron or not flow of electron. Semiconductor.
Both thing. When you are going to provide a pulse, it acts as a conductor. When you are not going to provide a pulse, it acts as insulator.
Okay.
It is made up of the germanium and silicon. Mr. Shafiq, please go through. As we are totally into the basic area, we are working with the theoretical part much.
When will this semiconductor act as an insulator? And
It
as a
depends upon the microcontroller which we are going to use or which you are going to connect to the semiconductor. Okay, like you have a voltage stabilizer, you have an inverter, or you have any kind of SMPS. So in all these things, you'll be finding a semiconductor. It depends upon the controller, how to control, how to regulate.
So like basically we are controlling the current passing through the
Exactly. Perfectly. If you want to control some milliampere of current, you want to control a milliampere of current for 0.1 second. This cannot be achieved manually. For this, you need a semiconductor devices. We have different controllers, like we have microcontroller, we have PI controller, we have PID controllers. These are different technologies what we use to use this semiconductor, to connect these semiconductors.